Imagine finding a 3-year-old boy wandering alone in the street, his diaper soiled. You know, his parents are good people, the kind who would never let him out of their sight. What could have happened? This is the story of that little boy and how he would one day uncover a truth that had been buried for a quarter of a century. It's a story of a horrific crime, a devastating wrongful conviction, and the unbreakable bond between a father and son. It all started on August 13, 1986 in North Austin, Texas. A neighbor noticed 3-year-old Eric Morton wandering by himself outside his family's home. Concerned, the neighbor walked the little boy back inside, calling out for his mother, Christine. There was no answer. The house was eerily quiet. The neighbor searched room by room, his sense of dread growing with every step. Finally, he entered the master bedroom and stumbled upon a scene of pure horror. Christine's body was hidden under a blanket, a blue suitcase, and a wicker basket. Sheriff Jim Boutwell from Williamson County was called to the scene. When he removed the items covering Christine, he found her body was so badly beaten she was almost unrecognizable. She had been bludgeoned to death with a large, blunt object. The investigators were puzzled. There were no signs of a break-in, nothing was stolen, and there was no evidence of sexual assault. The motive was a complete mystery. That is, until they found a note on the dresser. It was written by Christine's husband, Michael. It was a simple, affectionate note, but in the eyes of the police, it became something much more sinister. Later that day, Michael Morton left work to pick up his son from daycare, just like any other day. But when he arrived, he was told Eric had never been dropped off. Confused and worried, he called home to ask his wife what was going on. But it wasn't Christine who answered the phone. It was Sheriff Boutwell. The sheriff didn't explain anything. He just told Michael to come home immediately. A cold fear gripped Michael. He asked the sheriff the unthinkable. Has Christine been murdered? The sheriff's chilling confirmation sent his world into a tailspin. When Michael arrived home, desperate to see his wife, the sheriff refused. He wouldn't let him near the crime scene. In that moment, Michael knew. He could see it in the sheriff's eyes, hear it in his tone. They already thought he was guilty. The husband is always the first suspect, right? But this was more than just suspicion. This was an accusation. Little did Michael know, he was about to be railroaded by a system he trusted and sentenced to life in prison for a crime he did not commit. The police, it turned out, were hiding the truth. They had evidence that could have proven Michael's innocence from the very beginning, but they buried it. For 25 long years, an innocent man sat behind bars while the real killer walked free. But there was one person who had seen the killer's face that terrible morning. One person whose fragmented memories held the key to unlocking the entire case. That person was the 3-year-old boy, Eric, the boy who lost his mother and his father on the same day. He would grow up haunted by what he saw, and one day, he would come back to expose the monster who destroyed his family and finally bring his father home. This is the incredible true story of Michael Morton and how his son's love and a single piece of evidence changed everything. Stick with us as we unravel this shocking case. You won't believe how it all unfolds. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more incredible stories. September 25th, 1986. Just after his wife Christine's funeral, Michael Morton was at home holding his 3-year-old son, Eric. The doorbell rang. It was Sheriff Boutwell and his deputies there to arrest him. As they cuffed Michael, a deputy pulled little Eric from his arms. The boy screamed for his father as they led Michael away, a sound that would haunt him for decades. The trial began on February 9, 1987. The prosecutor, Ken Anderson, was relentless. He built a narrative around a simple note Michael had left for Christine, twisting it into evidence of a fatal argument. Anderson told the jury that Michael had killed his wife in a rage on his birthday after she refused him. It was a story built on pure speculation. The key to the prosecution's case was the testimony of medical examiner Dr. Roberto Bayardo. He confidently claimed Christine died hours before Michael left for work, effectively destroying Michael's alibi. The truth was, determining the exact time of death with such certainty was impossible. But the jury believed him. On February 17, 1987, Michael Morton was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Prosecutor Anderson even told the press he wished Michael had gotten the death penalty. For the next 17 years, prison was Michael's world. His only light was seeing his son, Eric, for a few hours every 6 months. He watched his boy grow up through the thick glass of a visitor's room. Eventually, the visits became too painful for Eric, and he asked to stop. Michael, heartbroken, agreed. By 2004, hope was nearly gone. Michael had spent 17 years behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. In a last-ditch effort, he reached out to the Innocence Project. An attorney named John Raleigh took the case. Raleigh immediately saw major problems. Why would a note about an argument be a motive for murder? Why was it ignored that Michael had passed 2 lie detector tests? Raleigh dug deeper and uncovered a shocking level of misconduct. Dr. Bayardo's testimony was medical malpractice, not science. And worse, the prosecution had hidden crucial evidence. A blood-stained blue bandana found near the crime scene was never tested and never mentioned in court. For years, the district attorney's office fought tooth and nail to prevent Raleigh from testing it. Finally, in 2008, a judge ordered the bandana to be tested. The results were explosive. The DNA revealed Christine's blood, mixed with the blood of an unknown man. It was not Michael Morton. A database search got a hit. Mark Alan Norwood, a convicted felon with a violent past who had lived nearby. For 25 years, the real killer had been free. Investigators then linked Norwood's DNA to another unsolved murder, that of Deborah Jan Baker, killed just a few miles from the Morton home in a chillingly similar way. With his innocence proven beyond all doubt, Michael Morton walked out of prison a free man. Mark Alan Norwood was convicted for both murders and sentenced to life. And Ken Anderson, the prosecutor who knowingly hid evidence and let a killer roam free, was disbarred and even served jail time for his misconduct. After his release, John Raleigh arranged a reunion between Michael and Eric. It was a moment of pure, unscripted emotion. Father and son, separated by a lie for a quarter of a century, finally reconnected. Michael's journey through the darkest parts of the justice system gave him a profound understanding of suffering, but also of forgiveness and the incredible power of resilience. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more true stories of justice and redemption.